But what we do need now is the wall jumping. Wall jumping is obviously a much more kind of advanced thing, this wall slide, because we have to turn on ground, so we have to be in the air. We have to be falling, so you can't do it on the way up, which is fine. It's cool. And wall slide true. All right. So what is a wall slide? Well, let's add another square. I don't know why I deleted the other one. I guess because it's a trigger. And let's put something like this. Now for wall sliding, if you want to slide off of this type of stuff, we should probably keep that all in mind, because this is named ground, right? So if we mark this guy as ground, that's fine, because now we can step on it. It needs a collider, obviously, or else ain't nothing gonna work. So it's now marked as the same as here, and it's a wall, and it's got a collider. How do we interact with it? So there are various things we could do. And hey, do we have an animation climb? No. Nope, we don't. So we can fire rays off, or we could use kind of like the way they had it set, the maker of this, where he had say he had two circles, or he had some circles, right? Because if you put a circle here as a child to the player, and we give it a circle, and we make it a trigger, right? We should be able to see, let's add a new FSM for this guy for now, and do a trigger event 2D. And we're not looking for any, I guess we should tag these things. So the square and the ground need a tag. Let's give them a tag. Let's call them environment or something like that. So the square and the ground can all have environment. That also means this guy here needs to have that same tag. All right, so now we can collide tag with environment, and let's just store that. I'm just going to use anything for now, right? So just testing that. Let's see if we can actually hit this wall in the ways of this trigger event. Right, there we go. We're hitting the square. Right, ba-doop. So that's cool. So what we need, if we want to use that system, and we totally could, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm going to get rid of the sprite render, because we sure the hell don't need that. And we're obviously going to need to adjust these sizes and their positions, right? So if we stick, say, one here, and it probably doesn't need to be that big. Only got to be, okay, well, where's the player's collider? Because we're ultimately going to be close to that, right? Something like that. A little closer. Right, and we also want, we're probably going to want two of these. All right, we'll stick one down here, kind of halfway down. So we have two of them. Because now, if we let's copy and paste. Only let's change it, because I was apparently using the owner, and you're not supposed to be doing that. I don't know why I didn't notice that the first time. All right, I'm going to change this one, just something a little different for a minute. So now we have these trigger events that are on the circles. And if we come over, we can see they're both squares. And you probably wonder, okay, well, why have both of them, right? And it's only because really, you probably don't want to slide if maybe you're up here right? You hit the wall. You don't want to go into your sliding animation. It might look a little funny, right? But when we get them both, then you can start sliding. And vice versa, if this thing's up in the air, once we hit kind of this point, we don't really want to be sliding anymore. We just want to fall, right? So kind of there, which is why there's two of them. And that's why they're spaced the way they are. Okay, so the way we want to do this is we're gonna probably have to make templates of this. So we have essentially we have two variables. Wall check 1, and we'll use wall check 2 because it's, oh my god, 3, what the hell, 2. Now 1 and 2 can both be inputs. I'm going to get rid of these two things. We don't need those anymore. Right, so we have wall check 1 and 2, and they can both collide with the environment. Now, if they've actually, you know what, we should probably do this not with two of them. We should probably do it with just one. So, but we're going to need two events anyways. So let's say send an event. We have hit. We come over here. I'm going to drag this guy over here, and this one's going to be exit, right? And he can say stop hit. There we go. So now we have, if we hit, not hit, only we're going to need, this one's going to use the wall check. So we don't need two wall checks. We only need the one. For here, we're going to need the two on the character, and you'll see what I'm doing in like a second. So now we have two of these things. We need a bool. Is on wall. So if we're over here, set bool value is on wall to true. Copy and paste. I'm going to put it before as false. I'm going to move this one above. So that's the way I trust it. All right, so now we have that. Now the bool on wall needs to be an output. So the wall check's an input, the bool is an output. Now I can save this. Wall slide checker. And no. Okay, so let's just remove this for a second. So let's add a new FSM, and we're going to call this one wall check. And in here, we are now going to, in the States, run FSM. Ba-doop, ba-doop. We have two of them. So we can do, where's our wall check? Wall slider check, 1, and we can literally just do this, 2. Right, so now we have 2. So is on wall and is on wall. So top and bottom. Actually, you know what? I should have named those like left top or left bottom. Left and left. Right, so now we have those. So these things need, we should label these properly. So here is left top, left bottom. Grab them both, duplicate them, drag them over to this side. Let's make sure they're kind of lined up the same. It's roughly the same. You'd always adjust it by these values, right? If you want it to be completely precise. So this one's the right top and right bottom. All right. So now, I'm going to duplicate these, copy and paste. Now we have 4 of these things, but obviously we need some new ones. We have right top and right bottom. All right, so here's all of those. So we can take, this one's the left top, drag that in. This one's the left bottom, drag that one in. This one is the right top, drag that one in, and right bottom, drag that one in. Now we have 4 markers that can all trigger, right? They all control 4 bools. So if all true, bool all true, we need 2 of those. Right, so 2 variables is left bottom, left top. Store result every frame is on left wall. And 2 here, right bottom, right top, every frame, store result is on right wall. All right, now we have those. We're just gonna let that sit just like that. So if we go back into our move, if we are in, so here we have our jump, and then we have our air, right? And if we're falling, we're here. So we're always here. And if we're here, grounded is false. We're waiting for ground so we can actually land. So what we need to do is get FSM bool again. I'll put this up here above the bool tests. Only this one we're looking at the wall checks. We want is on left wall. And we want this one to be wall check is on right wall. There we go. So now we can bool test. Copy, paste, and paste. So is on left wall and is on right wall. So if this one's true, I guess it doesn't matter. I guess it's if any are true in this point in time. We don't need to bool test them either. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can set up 2 bool tests, or there is a bool any true, which will work for both of this. We don't technically need 2 bool tests. We can just put them in, combine them into one. But if you want to use 2 bool tests, fly at it. It'll work just the same. So send event start slide. There we go. Now we're going to come over here. Over here, we still need all this same stuff, except for the any true, right? Because we need to be able to know when we come out, right? So if we're landed, I mean, we shouldn't be landing, but we're going to put that in there as a safety net. And we need to set animator bool wall slide to true. Move to the top. That also means if we're over here, we need to set it to false. If we've come out of this state, any state we're going to leave this one for, we need to make sure that we set that to false. So here we have wall checking, right? And we're still checking. So now, if we're grounded, I mean, let's say we shouldn't ground while we're wall sliding, because it's just, well, you never know. Maybe it will. But we need to know if one of these turns false, right? So actually, maybe we do need them both, because if both false, is there an any false or all false? No. What about multi-condition? Do we have that right now? No, we don't. Of course not. Of course not. So maybe we do want to use the multi one. I mean, the multi-condition will work just fine for this. But if I want to avoid using the ecosystem just for the sake of you guys, maybe we'll get rid of the any true. Maybe we will just do the bool tests. Right? Just in the place of simplicity. Because then we can go, if we're on the left wall, if that's true, left wall slide. Let's do that one. Let's get rid of the start slide. We're not going to use that one. Start slide right there. Let's get rid of that one. Don't want it. All right, and if we're on the right wall, if true, right wall slide. So now you technically don't need to do this. We could have done it the other way, but we would need bool multi-condition. I don't have it right now, and we could get it, but whatever. So we're still going to do, this is still true. We're still checking for ground. I'm not going to care about, yeah, okay, we need the left bool. We're on the left bool. We don't need the right bool, though. So we do need copy, paste. If on left wall is false, we can just go back to a falling state and come back over here, right? And we can copy this whole thing, and we can do the same thing but for the right, right? So we landed, we go over there, and that means we also want, like I said, any state these ones come out of, we got to make sure that we come and turn wall slide off. Right, so here we are now, we don't care about the left, we're doing the right, is on the right wall. Let's make sure that's right, and let's change this to on right wall. So make sure those references are set right. And there we go. That should be all we need. And again, we can add particles and sounds to all that stuff later when we're playing with that type of thing. Oh. Now if I run into it, nothing happens. There we go. Now there is one cool final thing that we kind of need to really make that cool. I need to look at why my velocity when I jump. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be using velocity there. I was like, why is my left way jump not very strong? And if you don't want it strong, I mean, you leave it that way. It really doesn't matter. There we go. Right. So, but you're doing a wall slide, right? So we want to mimic that. We don't want to be falling down at full frickin' speed. That's weird, right? I think so. So let's go into our project. Let's make some where are they? 2D physics material. And we can call one player. We should have a physics material on the player anyways. Go over to player, go to our collider, stuff that in there. But we should make one for the walls, right? And you know, it could have friction. It should have friction. And we could stick this in that collider. We could also do this to the tile map itself, right? I was still moving into it, right? Because if we're here, let's set velocity. We don't need much. We just need a little bit. So we're kind of pushing into it. Over here, we'll do this every frame. And this is going to be 0. So here we're going left. Let's just make sure we're going left. And then this side, let's make sure we're going right. Right now, we shouldn't actually be moving because we should be up against the wall anyways, but it should be pushing into the wall. All right, so now let's ram this stuff up. Right? But yeah, I don't know. I'll take a look at this for the next video. We'll make sure we have something. So one of the other things though is if we're in here, let's add one more quick little thing. Let's add a button. So we're gonna do jump. And if it's press, we're going to jump. And we can jump, we can go over here. Which, of course, like I said, on this one, make sure to be turning while jump off. And now, kind of like this, maybe we want to do the jump animation as well. So I can probably just copy this one over, bring this guy down here, and go into the jump. But now, we don't want to jump on the velocity. We can maintain this 8, maybe even bring it down a little bit. But if we are on the left side, we want to make sure we're going right. So maybe we can just go like that. Right? And then when we're done, go into here. And we can do the same thing down here. All right? We can come grab this guy, because he'll be the exact same. Paste it down here and add the jump, which can go here. And he'd obviously go back there, but now we're not going this way, we're going left because we're on the right wall. Even give us a little arrow to show us that we're going to be jumping like that kind of direction. Right, and we can adjust those values on all sorts of different things. So here's, see, what-ah. And if we take this square and we duplicate it, move him over here, like that. So we have a roll, we can jump, we can jump, we can jump, we can jump. Oh, we made it. What-ah. Oh, what happened? What happened? Where are we stopped? Let's take a quick look. We found a bug. Found a bug. Where are we at? We are in here. You know what? I think the I think that this stuff here might have actually kicked in. Well, you know what we should probably do? Is in here when we kind of go into these other states, like all of these are all going to the same state. You know what? I'm going to add just a little tiny next frame event because we want things to kind of process. I don't know if that's going to fix that whatever bug that was, but we'll take a look at that. Like I say, like that friction thing should be working. Why it's not working, I'm not 100% sure. If it was 3D, that would be working just fine. 2D apparently is being a piss off. So, but we will take a look when the video is over, and in the next video I'll get back to you and figure we'll have an answer then. I'll see. Well, there it's good. Now we're sticking. Maybe I just really need a high friction. Look at that. Just crazy. Does friction really need just to be that high in 2D? I don't know. Like in 3D, like you're running with like 1, 0.5. Maybe in 2D it's just it is this much. Yeah, we'll take a quick look, I suppose. Yeah, well, that's still really high. Let's go down to 100. just decided to start working. One didn't do shit. But, you know, at 100 we are fucking Spider-Man all of a sudden. Let's go down to 20. Guess I don't need to find the answer. I just needed to ram those values up. I mean, obviously 10,000 was a little excessive. Oh, we're starting to be able to move. Just slightly. I mean, the player, I should probably have the player low. Like, the player doesn't need the high friction. Right, so let's take the player down to like 3. Let's take the walls down to like 5. Start cutting these down. Always cut down in access, because if you overdo it, you can always go back a bit, right? And that's if anyone out there ever takes like kind of like a technology thing for tuning of pumps and shit like that. I mean, that's actually a really common thing. Like, you overdo it and then you cut it, you more or less cut it in half, and you kind of keep doing it. Like, you go really drastic, and then you're probably going to overdo it the other way, but now you've cut the possibilities in half. And then you just go the other way again, half, and you just keep doing that. And you find a relatively easy solution. You know, like, I'm pretty sure I had them at 1 and it didn't want to work for me. So I don't know what happened. What's up with that? Might have to move those little wall slide things, because right there, I mean, why are we not in the slide mode? Right, because we're here. Unless it was the velocity that I added there that finally did it. You know, why wouldn't it work the first time? I don't know. Wall slide is true. So does that mean we're grounded? Is that what we're seeing? No. But we're gonna have to put a thing from. Wait, no. Wall slide's on. Wall slide is here. Oh, the airspeed. All right, let's go less than 0.2. Let's just up that a little bit, and let's bring these down. All right, so we're going to go down a little farther. Now, it's weird that at ones I couldn't get it, and then all of a sudden it started working, and now it's like, nope. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, it's kind of there, but I don't know. I'm thinking 0.2. 0.2 on the wall, maybe 0.1 on the player. But we want to nail it, right? See, that's pretty good. I think that's good. I think that looks nice. Like, it's not full speed, you know, you can tell he's got that friction. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. There's nothing else here. So there's nothing else on our controller in the ways of control. So the next video, we're going to look at maybe building a little bit of the HUD, you know, integrating his health somewhere so we can see it, bring in the damage, and then we can start building some AI, and then we can start building a level. How does that frickin' sound? Sounds lovely.